Well, hello everybody.
Hi.
Hi. So it took us a really long time to do the second video, or part 2 of Storytime.
Well, technically we already made it, and we effed it up because we're not very smart.
Audio was messed up. It was like love, and then it just went death, and then there was nothing. There was no sound. All it was
Yeah, it was just us talking about nothing.
Well, we had a good talk, but it was nothing for you to hear.
So we are now going to retell our story to you.
Yes. Okay. Valerie, you shall start.
I shall. So I'm trying to figure out what we even said in the last one.
Oh.
Well, basically, it was kind of after we finally
started dating,
and how it all went to crap after.
Yeah, really quick.
Basically, hold on, there we go.
Gotta adjust. We love recording our videos in Luna, apparently.
Luna is our car. I don't know if we explained that.
Yeah, we did.
We did?
First video. Our hello video.
Oh, okay. Well, yes. So right after we started dating, a lot of things, like, we were just very irritated with each other, and nothing
Constantly.
one of us did was ever right. Just everything irritated both of us.
Basically, if we were hanging out together, we were fighting. Like, it got to the point where neither of us wanted to see each other because we knew at the end of the night we were gonna fight. So
Yeah.
it was just like, ugh.
Or we'd get together and the whole beginning of the day would be fine, but we knew at the end of the night we were gonna have to have a talk that was gonna end up turning into an
a fight.
argument.
Yeah. But we actually worked through it. It was our biggest thing was communication. We talked a lot, and I mean a lot.
Well, it's kind of, we have to kind of stretch it out because
yeah,
that's kind of the video.
I'm gonna explain a little bit more. We talked a lot, like an extreme amount. If you are in a relationship and you're struggling over some things, because you don't want to say something or he doesn't want to say something, say it. Like, just say it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? If you guys are new and you guys really want to make this work, you have to let the other person know how you're feeling, because if not, it doesn't work out. And that's what almost happened for us. And one of the main things that was causing that problem was me. I'm a terrible communicator, but also Valerie is kind of too when it comes to certain things. She'll tell me how she feels if it doesn't make her uncomfortable, but we worked through it. One of our biggest fights when it came to this time was because of me. Valerie likes to tell the story better, so I'm gonna let her take it over from there.
Oh, you're talking about what bothered me?
Yes. What really was one of our major things we were fighting about.
So there was some main things. This is one of the things that we would constantly argue about, that just, it could have probably ended our relationship, even though it wasn't that big of a thing. It kind of was, though. So basically, let me just get to the story so that you'll understand. So Mark has a friend, okay?
That sounds horrible. That's not.
No, I don't mind him having friends that are girls or anything like that. I'm not that kind of girlfriend. I don't try to dictate who his friends are. Be like, you can't hang out with women, because I'm just not that kind of person. I wouldn't try to tell him how to live his life. But the problem was that, I just gotten into this relationship with him. Finally, his girlfriend, things like that. And I would start seeing him call this other girl, who he claimed to be his friend, things like babe, or, things like that. Just
Boo-boo.
Okay, that one's just weird.
Hey, boo-boo, hey.
Weird.
Some people think it's adorable.
But yeah, names of affection kind of thing. And it bothered me because we were arguing all the time. So he like kind of stopped calling me those kinds of things, but was calling another girl those names. So I started getting jealous.
Which is totally fine.
And, you know, it kind of pissed me off, and I'd be like, hey, can you please stop? Like, hey, just, this bothers me. Yeah, that's exactly what he would say. Like, not as nice as that, though, because he wasn't that nice at that time.
I wasn't. I really had a struggle.
He would just be like, I don't know what the fuck you complaining about, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But basically, at the end, he'd just be like, okay. Well, then a day or two later, I'd see him doing it again. And I'd be like, did he not hear a word I said?
It was more like, you mother...
Yeah, so I'd get pissed off.
Mouth.
So then I would talk to him again. And again, he would be like, oh, okay.
All right.
And then I would see him do it again. And there was a specific instance where I saw a picture or like a Snapchat of him, like, in her bed. And, like, with her at her house when he just, like, oh, like, I don't know. I didn't even know he was at her house or anything like that. So I just see he's at his friend that's a girl's house, and he's in her bed with her, and he writes a caption that calls her some sort of affectionate name, and I'm just like, bitch. He was in trouble. And what was upsetting about it was, I kind of showed my friends that I was with at the time just to see if I was being over dramatic about it. I showed guys and girls, and they were all appalled and told me that he was probably cheating on me.
I was not. I want that very, very, very clear. I have never once stepped out of our relationship. Ever. I've always been 110% faithful to Valerie. I just want that very, very, very clear. Continue. Well, I have been. I've been 100%. I want everybody to know, because the way the story's sounding on my behalf, I sound like an a-hole, and they're like, yeah, he was probably smashing.
I mean, but it did look that way.
We weren't. God, no.
But again, well, not again, because you didn't hear it the first time, but the first time we filmed this video, I kind of touched on the fact that, like, it's not even just the fact that it was another girl. Like, she is intimidating because she is extremely pretty.
I think you're prettier.
See, the kicker about that, he used to like this girl.
A long time ago, when I was in, like, high school.
He used to like this girl.
High school. We were...
Liked her for a long time.
We were, what, 20 when we started talking?
And took her to prom.
As friends.
Yeah, but by the end of the night, you were hoping you would be more than friends.
It didn't happen.
But see, he didn't say, like, oh, you're right. He's just like, but it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Which means I was telling the truth.
She was definitely telling the truth. But I want that point put. I liked
so
her in high
school. So it's not just
school.
a female that you're in her bed and calling her babe and baby and whatever other sugaboo you want to be calling her.
Sugaboo. Sugaboo? Look, not trying to sound any like any way bad at all, but sugaboo is not something that a Mexican would say, okay?
I don't know.
Who would say that? Think about it. Everybody knows what I'm thinking.
I was saying it as a joke. I don't think you ever called her that. I don't know what you call her. But calling this other girl all these types of affectionate, loving names, literally saying I love you to her, like texting all the time at the time.
She is my best friend, and I care deeply for her.
If you saw text between me and, you know, why are we gonna argue on this video?
This video is not a good video. If you're in a relationship, skip this video.
But apparently. This is what's good though, is that like we're taking one for the team by doing this for you.
Honestly, if anybody ever watches our videos, we kind of hope it really does help you. Not kind of, we really hope it does. We've struggled a lot. I mean a lot, but we've never given up on each other, and that's one of the main things that I think is so great about our relationship is like we've had the hardest times. Like we've gone through rough patches after rough patch, but we still worked it out, and we just came out stronger for it. So if you really see that person as being worth it to you in your eyes, put that effort in. Put it in. Try your very best, and at least if you try your very best and it doesn't work out, at least you can walk away saying, I gave it everything I had and it didn't work out, which means we weren't meant for each other. But side note. Continue.
But yeah, so not only all those other kinds of things, but, you know, then I knew he had feelings for her, strong feelings for her
Long time ago.
at a point in time. So I know he thinks she's pretty.
I still think you're prettier.
Regardless.
Death eyes. Ooh, she kissed me. And
Regardless.
she shot me.
I'm electrifying. Anyways. Yeah. That's basically the point, is I was not happy about it. And we constantly were arguing about it. I would be like, you know, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. And he just kept being like, I mean, you're kind of being ridiculous, blah, 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 blah. Kept kind of saying he would stop, but he never did. Literally, the only way he stopped is finally, like, she got a boyfriend. And they both agreed, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this anymore. Not even because I kept saying it made me uncomfortable as his girlfriend, him respecting me. It just took them both to be like, you know, we're both in a relationship. Probably gonna cause problems. We should maybe not do this anymore.
Okay. Well, Valerie has said her piece. Are you done? Oh, I love you, baby. I love it when you give me those angry eyes. Come here. So, yes, that was everything. One of the main reason we were fighting was because of that. But I also need to explain a few things about myself at that time so you can understand where my head was. I had been single for, 3 years before me and Valerie had gotten together. Now, I've always been terrible at relationships. Anybody that knows me can swear on this. I am horrible at it. I will last 6 months in a relationship and then it's done for me. For a number of different reasons. I don't need to really get into all of them, but for a number of different reasons. I was just bad at it. I didn't know how to be in a relationship. I didn't know how to show that kind of affection to somebody else. So after a while, like, it just kind of fizzled out. And so when we were first we really became a couple and we were dating, I was struggling with that. I was struggling with it. I was having to I guess in a sense learn, like, there's certain things you don't do when you're in a relationship. I'm like blocking your face. Blocking your face. I'll put my hands away. But there's certain things that you have to kind of learn, and they're not like bad things for you to want to learn. They're good things. Like, you will learn something good out of them. It's to make sure that you're bettering your relationship, and I needed to learn those. So when we were fighting a lot, I was kind of in the stage like, why are we fighting? Like, straight up, we're literally just started dating. We're fighting all this time, like, and I was used to getting to do whatever the hell I wanted, because that's kind of what I did. I really did do whatever the hell I wanted. And, like, that's good when you're single, but you have to remember that there's somebody else that's in the relationship, and you have to be also very caring, and you have to consider what they would think and how they would feel. And that was something new to me. And it may sound like, how did you not know that? A lot of people aren't good at being in relationships because they don't know the guidelines. They don't know that you should be considering the other person's feelings. And I think that happens to do a lot with kind of how, let's say, people perceive relationships now. And I was one of the people, I guess, would be considered a problem. I wanted to still be my own person, but be in a relationship kind of thing, and that doesn't work. Like, you are allowed to be an individual. You have your own likes, dislikes. Me and Valerie have plenty of things we do not like about each other, but that we do, but we still love each other for it. I'm super fan of certain things that she's not, and she's super fan of certain things that I do not care for at all. I mean,
I think a big thing is that, you know, I think even when you were being kind of mean, I think we both wanted to have a relationship that was built on, like, respect and respecting each other. And I think that's what also made him finally, like, basically Mark's a whole different person than who he was before we were dating and even after we started dating.
4 years can really change a person.
And I knew more about relationships than he did because this sounds bad, I've been in more relationships, but I'd also been in a longer relationship than he had ever been in. So I knew what it was like, you know, to kind of, like, as a partnership, kind of do things, whereas he kept trying to do everything by himself.
Single life.
So
Oh, my single life. No.
so it was difficult, but
At
honestly,
I stepped it up.
This is kind of a piece of advice, though. Like, he cared enough to want to change, and he did. And I'm not going to say it was easy, because it took a very long time.
It took, I want to say,
almost an entire year.
Yeah, at least a year. Like 6 months, I started getting good. But I would still mess up, and she would get mad at me, and I was just like, what did I do wrong? Like, I've been trying, like, what did I do? And it was just like small things here and there that I didn't realize were big things. And so communication is key. And seriously, talk it out. If you talk it out and, you know, at the end you're just like, not working, then at least you tried. Try and talk, and know that everybody wants to text and tweet. You can, it's a magical thing that you can do with your mouth to a person.
Who knew?
What? Okay.
But anyways, so
there was that was something about me at that time that was, you know, really hard for me, and that was one of the reasons that added to just her not liking my best friend. But
anyway, so that was the
biggest reason.
One of the big things that we would fight about. So is there anything about me that really bothered you that we would constantly fight about?
Well, yeah. Well, let me explain one more thing before I go to that. So, back to my best friend. So, I want everybody to kind of know why we used to call each other babe.
No.
I'm gonna say the story.
No.
You
You don't need to.
It's important to me.
Babe, this is already 20 minutes long.
I can do this in a minute.
Go.
Okay, go. So, the reason why me and my friend, we started calling each other babe was because me and her, we really like shopping. We both kind of like fashion little gurus for each other. So we would go shopping together, and people would start seeing us around, and we would be like, no, that looks like crap. No, that doesn't. And we just kind of like joke back and forth. So people thought we were a couple. So people started coming up to us like, oh my God, you guys are so cute. How long have you guys been together? And at first we didn't realize what they were talking about. And then it finally clicked to us, and we're like, oh, you know, babe, we've been together for like, what, 2 years now? And it became a joke for us, and it just kind of like stuck. And it was something that, like, I was used to saying, she was used to saying, and then eventually, of course, we both got significant others, and we realized, you know what, we need to stop. Yeah, okay, that's where that story comes in, and I just wanted that piece in there because I feel like it's important. You know, it was just kind of like a little jokey thing for us, and it eventually became more than just a joke because it upsetted her, which is not bueno for my life. Okay.
So anyways.
So, skipping back to things that really bugged me about Valerie.
Like one big thing, because I only talked about one big thing.
I'm thinking.
Is that hard to choose just one?
Hard to choose just one. There's just so many things. I just want to, but I still love you. Yes. No, I think the biggest thing that really bothered me was that you wanted it to be like that. Like, our relationship should just be very cohesive. It should just fucking work. And I didn't know how to do it. She wanted to constantly be talking. I didn't. I just kind of wanted, like, can I please, like, we had a long night. Just get out of my car so I can go home. And I say that with love. Like, I really do. Like, now that we've been together and I understand what she wanted, and I get it now, but, like, for me, that was the hardest thing. It was, like, her wanting me to just be a boyfriend immediately when I didn't know what the hell that meant.
But see, I didn't really get it. So it's like, now I completely understand how he felt at the moment, and I understand why he kind of acted the way he did. But at that time, I didn't get that he couldn't be that boyfriend yet.
I didn't know how. And it's actually what our fights eventually led up to. Like, it got to the point where we were, like, that close to breaking up. Like, it was, like, throw that last straw on the camel's back and we're gonna break it. But we had... I don't know words. But eventually, like, we sat down and we talked about it. And we talked about what the hell was really bothering us. And that's how Val found out that, like, I was like, I don't know how to be in a relationship. Like, you want something from me that I don't know how to give you. And Val's like, she finally, like, understood why I was still doing all the things that I was doing. And it was I was very lucky that she was still willing to work through them with me, because she could have just, like, you know what? I waited a whole year for us to be in a relationship, and then for you to just be a bigger dick? No. Like, I'm done. She could have immediately left me, and I would have completely understood. Well, I don't know if I would be the same person and understanding wise, so I might not have known. I'd just be like, she's a bitch, whatever. But I'm glad she did. I'm glad we talked it out, even though I hate talking sometimes. Feelings are weird.
See, let's correct that. He doesn't like talking about feelings. He likes talking, though.
Feelings. They're just creepy little things, you know?
Anyways.
It's kind of like a gremlin, but they have different colors, like Inside Out. Inside Out gremlins, that's exactly what they are.
Inside Out gremlins?
Yes, they're color coordinated to match the feeling, but they look like gremlins.
I get you.
And Joy is clearly the fluffy one.
But anyways, so I think that's kind of gonna wrap up this video. There's more things, but I mean, those were the main things that we literally fought about almost every single day. That's what...
For like a month.
Yeah, for a really long time. Like, every single time I would see him.
It was a month, babe. It's like all of January.
Yeah.
February we started turning around. What?
Well, no. We fought longer than that.
Well, okay. All of January.
No,
and
we're
like
not.
The beginning,
We're not.
End of December.
No, because this whole video is about our whole first year. So.
Oh yeah, we had other issues throughout the year, but I'm just talking about like what that main, like the piece that we were talking about. It's like a month and a half.
No, it was way longer than that.
Okay, well clearly I don't know time.
He doesn't know anything.
I can read a clock.
Maybe.
It says it is 9:45 on my watch, at least. I don't know what time you're seeing.
Anyways, we want to make other videos. If you want to give us suggestions on any questions you may have. I think in the last one I said things that we should. Oh, I wanted to do a video eventually on people judging us based on
Right.
the way that we look. Like us being a
Yes.
couple based on the way that we look, because we get judged hardcore for it.
So you can tell we are kind of different. But I love her.
Oh, I love you too. Anyways, and then I wanted to do maybe a video on
how people perceived our relationship.
Yeah.
That was like our biggest thing, and it actually became a problem for us at one point. Like people used to be like, we're couple goals, we're like the perfect couple.
Don't want to get too into it, because
Well, I know,
we might want to
I'm
make
not
a whole
gonna-
video on
Well,
it.
we will make a whole video on it.
But yeah, that's a big thing. A lot of people say we're couple goals.
And how much stress it put on our relationship. So we're definitely going to make a video on that one, because that is like a whole topic. We probably do like 6-7 episodes on that. But we'll try to do one and one only. But, you know, we really enjoy making these videos.
Even though no one's watching.
Yeah. You know, we just need that one person to just stumble upon it and like share with my thousands of followers, and then next thing you know, they can start watching us, because being in a relationship is hard. It's definitely hard. It is definitely something you have to work for every day. Something I said in our first take of the video, I said, you know, being in a relationship is very hard.
Stop.
Hold my hand then. No, I don't like that one. We know I'm always on top.
Continue.
Okay. Being in a relationship is hard. It is a lot of work, but if you find that person that you really, really care about, put in that time, put in that work, because you'll eventually see that being in this relationship is worth it. And I know that I would never trade any of the times that me and Valerie have fought. Horrible, but I wouldn't trade them, because they really did strengthen us. We've had lots and lots of problems. That sounds horrible, like we're terrible at being together, but that's not the case. We've had problems, you know, our share of problems like any normal couple would. But we worked through them. And if you find your person, she is my person. So everybody else, shoo, she's my person. Work with her or work with him. Talk about things. Talk about like how you're feeling. Talk about what you're feeling you need. And if that person really cares for you, they'll work to meet those goals. Don't just stay with somebody because you think they're cute or they make you laugh. Like, they have to be willing to work for you. Each and every person is worth fighting for. Boy, girl, it doesn't matter. The other person should be willing to fight for you. That's my piece.
You talked a lot in this video.
Me? Oh, compared to the last one, yeah. Take 2. Sounds better. Because my voice is angelic. It's not. I know it's not. It sounds kind of annoying. But, whatever.
But anyways, please let us know if any of this makes sense to you. If any of this helped you in any possible way. I'm sorry that he gets sidetracked a lot.
It makes the story entertaining, okay?
You see what's funny is when we started this channel, he said that we had to make them short and he didn't want them to be very long. But most of this video was me being like, okay, and then him trailing off again and me being like, okay, back to the original thought. I think it's adorable because I know that's how he is and he talks a lot. But for someone to be like, you know, kind of making it seem like I'm the one that was going to prolong these videos.
The last video was you.
When it's him.
The last video was you.
When it's him.
Okay. Well, I guess that means we should be ending this video then.
Yes.
Yes. So, again, we're going to say good night because we're heading home to sleep
Yes, please.
in a nice comfy bed. So, good night, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed the video. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.